Did you know that the same cannabis strain can taste, smell, and even feel completely different, depending on where it's grown? What if I told you the secret to unlocking the full potential of your cannabis lies not just in the plant itself, but in the land it grows on? Today, we're diving into one of the most overlooked aspects of cannabis cultivation, the concept of terroir. Originating in the world of wine, this idea is a game changer for growers, connoisseurs, and anyone who wants to deepen their appreciation of this amazing plant. Stick around to learn how microclimates, soil, and even sunlight shape cannabis in ways you've probably never imagined. Cannabis cultivation has advanced dramatically over the years, from indoor grow operations with cutting-edge hydroponics to outdoor fields that stretch across fertile valleys. But in this rush to perfect the science of growing cannabis, many forget one vital truth: where the plant is grown is as important as how it's grown. The French word terroir literally translates to land, but it encompasses so much more. Terroir refers to the interplay of soil, climate, geography, and even the hand of the cultivator in shaping a crop's characteristics. Though the concept comes from winemaking, its principles apply perfectly to cannabis. In today's video, we'll explore how the environment influences cannabis on a chemical, sensory, and even philosophical level. By the end, you'll see why understanding and embracing terroir could revolutionize the way you grow, consume, and connect with cannabis. Let's start with the basics. Terroir is the alchemy of 4 key factors. Soil. The nutrient content, pH levels, and microbial life in the soil are foundational to a plant's growth. Rich volcanic soils, for example, can produce cannabis with bold and earthy terpene profiles, while sandy soils may lead to lighter, citrus-forward notes. Climate. Temperature, humidity, and even wind patterns all play a role. Cannabis grown in dry, sunny conditions like Southern California might develop a different resin profile compared to cannabis grown in the misty Pacific Northwest. Geography. Altitude, proximity to bodies of water, and exposure to sunlight affect how cannabis develops its cannabinoids and terpenes. For instance, high-altitude strains may grow denser, with unique aromatic compounds to protect against UV radiation. Human touch. Terroir also includes the practices of the grower. Techniques like dry farming, crop rotation, and even when and how you harvest the plant all contribute to the final product. Imagine this. A cultivator in South Africa grows a landrace strain, Durban poison, in its natural environment, with its roots stretching deep into the mineral-rich soil and its leaves absorbing the crisp coastal air. Now, picture the same strain grown indoors in Amsterdam. Both might be called Durban poison, but the differences in flavor, aroma, and effects would be undeniable. That's terroir in action. Zooming in, let's talk about microclimates. These are the hyperlocal environmental conditions that can drastically affect cannabis cultivation. For example, the Emerald Triangle in Northern California. Known for its mountainous terrain and foggy mornings, this region creates cannabis with earthy, piney terpene profiles. South Africa's Caledon region. Cannabis grown here develops bright, citrusy notes thanks to the unique combination of sandy soils and dry, sunny weather. The Himalayan valleys in Nepal. High altitudes and mineral-rich soil create strains with a dense, resinous quality, ideal for making hashish. What's the most unique climate or environment you've grown cannabis in? Did you notice a difference in the plant's flavor or potency? Microclimates are where terroir truly shines. A single hillside may offer vastly different growing conditions depending on the slope's orientation to the sun, the wind patterns, or the way water drains through the soil. Understanding and working with these conditions can elevate your cannabis to a whole new level. Now, let's get into the science. Terroir influences the chemical makeup of cannabis in 2 primary ways. Cannabinoids. Compounds like THC, CBD, and CBG are affected by environmental stresses. For instance, plants grown at higher altitudes often produce more resin as a defense against UV light. Terpenes. These aromatic compounds are responsible for cannabis's flavor and aroma. A strain grown in nutrient-rich soil with balanced water levels may produce a robust terpene profile, while plants grown in overly wet conditions might lose some of their aromatic complexity. A study conducted on landrace strains found that cannabis grown in its native environment consistently showed higher concentrations of its characteristic terpenes. For example, Afghan Kush grown in its homeland exhibits stronger earthy and spicy notes compared to the same strain grown elsewhere. For growers, embracing terroir means adopting a philosophy of working with nature rather than against it. Here's how. Choose the right strain. Select genetics that naturally thrive in your region. If you're in a dry, desert climate, consider strains known for drought resistance. Regenerative agriculture. Build soil health by incorporating compost, cover crops, and natural fertilizers. Healthy soil is the foundation of any terroir-driven grow. Local adaptation. Allow the plant to adapt to its environment over multiple growing seasons. This enhances its ability to express the unique characteristics of the terroir. Harvest timing. Pay attention to local weather patterns to determine the ideal harvest window for peak terpene and cannabinoid levels. What local conditions have had the biggest impact on your cannabis harvests? Soil, sunlight, or something else? Terroir isn't just for growers. It's a concept that elevates the consumer experience as well. When you smoke or consume cannabis grown with terroir in mind, you're tasting the land, climate, and care that went into its cultivation. Much like wine connoisseurs savor the subtle notes of a Bordeaux or a Napa Valley Cabernet, cannabis enthusiasts can also explore the rich diversity that terroir brings to the plant. Next time you purchase cannabis, look for information about where it was grown. Try comparing strains from different regions and notice the differences in flavor, aroma, and effects. Terroir is the interplay of soil, climate, geography, and human care. Microclimates allow cannabis to express its environment in unique ways. Understanding terroir enhances both cultivation and consumption, deepening our connection to the plant and the land it comes from. What's your experience with cannabis and terroir? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your fellow growers and enthusiasts. Together, we can celebrate the art and science of cannabis cultivation.